to more live coverage of Bear Lake football on the SVI Sports Network.
Welcome to Bear Lake High School football. If you're
back home, and what a pretty drive, by the way, Jared.
Oh,
that was awesome.
Yeah, did you come Logan Canyon Immigration?
I came Immigration, but the leaves are changing through the canyon, and with the rain, it looks so nice out there. Looks so nice out there.
So we're glad to have Nate back with us. Just a little bit of what's going on elsewhere as we're waiting for the JV game to end. We'll get the varsity started. As that pass is going to be incomplete for the South Fremont Cougars. AF and Snake River, the other two teams in our district. And yes, I know there should be three other teams in our district, but the Marsh Valley Eagles had to cancel their football program 2 games in due to injuries and some other things that went on. They were just out of players, so they canceled their season. So AF and Snake, the only two teams in our district still playing. And I'm going to guess it's harvest time up in American Falls because they've been on a bye for 2 straight weeks. Good scheduling there. And then Snake River is also on a bye. Last week, Snake River beat Teton 27-26. So other games of interest in the region, Aberdeen is at North Fremont, West Jefferson is at Ryrie, and Soda Springs is at Westside. So those are the other games going on. And, touchdown saving tackle by Jensen down there inside the 10-yard line with 1:54 left in the JV game, 50-28. Bear Lake probably going to win this one, but South Fremont trying to put a touchdown on the board, make it a little bit closer. So that's what's going on around the region, as well as Teton is playing Century and Sugar Salem and Preston. That should be a good game. You got the University of Sugar Salem visiting Preston this week, so should be a good football game there. Other sports, cross country had a pretty good day yesterday up at the Bob Conley in Pocatello. In fact, the JV girls cross country team won the Bob Conley tournament yesterday, and so congratulations to them. And their season's winding down. They got a couple weeks left before they'll run in the district tournament, and so good luck to the cross country team. The volleyball team in action last night beat Marsh Valley in straight sets, 25-12, 25-7, and 25-13. In Marsh Valley, took care of business pretty handily over there. And tomorrow, if you want to watch the volleyball team in action, the number 1 ranked volleyball team that's looking to defend their state title, they host American Falls tomorrow. And so American Falls will be in town 4:30 for the C team, 5:30-ish for the JV, and 6:30-ish. I say ish because we just start once the other games are over. Usually it's a little bit later than the 5:30 and the 6:30, but we'll just however long it takes. You never know with volleyball because it's not a set time. It's a set score, and it's best 2 out of 3 for C team and JV, best 3 out of 5. So sometimes those games take a little bit longer, but volleyball in action tomorrow. American Falls in town. Come on out for that. And then next week, homecoming week. Wednesday night, the volleyball team is hosting Preston, I believe, on Wednesday night, and it's pink out. And they'll be all in pink for cancer awareness, and it's a game during the homecoming week. So good luck to the volleyball team. Come on out and support them for that. That's Wednesday night. And then homecoming football game a week from tonight. But let's talk about tonight's game. This is an interesting matchup.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, Nate this morning was on the air doing the Friday morning show. He obviously was looking at trying to do his research on South Fremont. Should we talk about South Fremont's record?
Yeah, I actually have it right here. They're 2-4 this season, Jared. They're 2-4. They're 2 wins coming over the South Fremont.
Do you know what you're talking about?
Marsh Valley and Westside of all people.
That's what has me confused. So the first game of the year, they get throttled. They lose 40-6. The very next week, they beat Marsh Valley 41-0. The next week, they beat Westside 34-30. So we're like, okay, they're legit. First game of the season, they struggled. People struggle against North Fremont, especially early in the year. So maybe they're legit. Then the next week, they lose 49-28. Then they lose 21-8. Then they lose 34-6. Who is South Fremont?
We have no idea. It honestly just depends on what team shows up. We have no idea in general, but especially tonight. I mean, if you look at the power rankings, it looks like Bear Lake is a -17, and then South Fremont is a -10. So if you're basing it off of the Max Preps rankings, South Fremont's about a touchdown favorite in this game. With that being said, if we get a little bit of rain tonight, like the forecast suggested earlier, and on top of it, the home field advantage for the Bears, I think this game's pretty much a toss-up. I think the Bears really have a chance to come out tonight and compete. But it all just depends on what South Fremont team shows up. If you get the team that beats Westside, it's tough to beat that team at all. If you get the team that, lost to, American Falls, I think you have a really good shot. I mean, and the thing is even the, common opponents between these two teams, they both played North Fremont, Bear Lake losing to North Fremont 21-7.
And had the lead going into the fourth quarter of that game.
South Fremont losing in a non-competitive game 40-6. And then Snake River, South Fremont has the advantage there, losing 21-8, but Bear Lake losing 37-6. So this is really a toss-up game. Really excited for this one. Should be a good one.
Yeah, you look at that Snake River score for Bear Lake, and if you remember, that's the game that Jack Hume, Bear Lake starting quarterback for those first 4.5 games of the season, went down with the ACL injury in the third quarter. So maybe that game would have been a little bit closer without that injury. So even when you look at common opponents, you think, okay, this is going to be probably a fairly good football game tonight. You never know what could happen. And I was been talking to some people pregame. I talked to Coach Crane pregame. I talked to Coach Rick Saunders up here in the booth pregame. It's about time some of the luck started going Bear Lake's way. When you talked about luck this year in football, everything has seemed to go to the other team. Against and the onside kick attempt, go return it. Go return it. Bear Lake, go return it. They're not going to even try. It actually went exactly 0 yards. It was kicked kicked from the 40 and backspun to the 40.
That was like hitting a wedge shot and it spins back towards you, know, except it didn't go very far. It just spun straight back.
If that would have gone 10 yards and then done that, that would have been a fantastic kick, but unfortunately it only went about 4. Anyway, so the failed onside kick attempt gives Bear Lake the ball. I'm sure they'll just kneel it out, and the final score is going to be 50-36. The varsity teams have already warmed up, but we're not going to start, obviously, right on time because we're supposed to start here in 3 minutes, and the other teams are still out on the field. 2 kneel downs should do it, though. And Neil will kneel down, and they'll have to do that, I think, one more time, and the Bears JV is going to get a win. So, back to the luck factor. Bear Lake has not had the luck factor on their side. 2 of the touchdowns against the Firth Cougars that Firth scored, Sam, if you remember back to that game, they were actually fumbles that Firth turned into touchdowns. They bad snap fumbles, they pick up, toss it to a guy. He happens to be wide open with nobody around him because of the fumble.
I'm still not convinced that wasn't just the set play. I think it was designed.
Yeah, when it happens twice in the game with the same result, they're going to put 20 minutes. 2 minutes or 20 minutes. I can't tell which one they're signaling. If they put 20 up there, 20 minutes is what they're signaling for. The officials want to give themselves a break. I don't blame them. So we got quite a bit of time left here in the pregame show.
Plenty.
So the luck, the Bears need the luck tonight is basically what I'm saying. If a few of those bounces that went the way of the other teams so far go the way of the Bear Lake Bears tonight, they could be in this game, pull off the upset, be a great way to get the season back on track. Homecoming next week against American Falls, finish up the season against Soda Springs.
Well, yeah, Jared, you would think the luck has to go Bear Lake's way at a certain point. I mean, I can't tell you how many times offense has been driving the ball down the field, just an unfortunate turnover. Sometimes that's an interception. Sometimes that's a fumble, but just bad timing. And across the board, just not the best luck throughout the year. So I think at some point that's got to give. Bear Lake catches a couple of breaks. But I do think we're in for a really good game tonight. I think this one should be really fun. Should be, honestly, a dogfight between these two teams based on common opponents' record, whatnot. I think we're in for a good one tonight, and hopefully a few things go Bear Lake's way.
All right, we got plenty of time, so let's talk about some college football games going around the region. You know what? Most of the teams that we usually talk about are on byes this week. Utah State on a bye, so they should get a win. University of Utah, I'm sure will get the win this week. They're also on a bye, so they should get those wins pretty easy. Other games going on in the region: Idaho State, the Idaho State Bengals are on a roll. They won a couple weeks ago, 90-0. Last week they got the win against Northern Colorado, 26-18. This week they host Montana. So Idaho State University playing some football, and they host Montana tomorrow. So good luck to the Bengals. Boise State, what's your pick here? This is a big one, Nate. Boise State at Notre Dame.
Well, going back to the Idaho State thing, yeah, they've had a couple of good games. If you're asking my opinion on that one, I'm taking Montana by about, a lot because Idaho State has momentum, but Montana's
won 2 weeks ago 90-0 against some high school JV team.
A middle school team. We could win against that team.
Lincoln somebody or other from California. I didn't know there was a Lincoln, California.
Now, with that being said, I think in this Boise State-Notre Dame game, it's a big game for the Broncos. Game's in South Bend, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Preseason, I think everybody had this one marked down as a potential top 15 matchup. Both teams started out the season rough. Boise State got pummeled in their first game and have fought their way back to some respectability, haven't lost since. Notre Dame lost their first 2 games, and somehow,
still horrible,
because you put your name as Notre Dame, you automatically are
that
get
really
5 victories, I guess. In the they started the season 0-2, and they're still ranked.
The number 25 ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish at a whopping 4-8. That's how it kind of feels at a certain point. With that being said, I think as much as I'd love to take the Broncos in that game, I do think Notre Dame wins it. But I think I think the Broncos cover the spread. So I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people expect. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely would take the Fighting Irish in that game. I don't like taking it. I hate picking against them. I love the Broncos. So I don't know. It's just kind of hard to not take your team.
So apparently, we should have sent a message to the radio station. They didn't know we were on the air. So those of you that have been watching on video, you've been with us for quite a bit. If you're on radio, you're just joining us. I'm going to take Boise State. My heart tells me I'm wrong. Well, my head tells me I'm wrong, that Notre Dame takes care of business. I think after those first 2 losses, then the Notre Dame has taken that personally, and so Notre Dame is probably going to win. But I want Boise State to win, and my heart says go with that. So I'm going to go with Boise State pulling off the upset. I would love to see it. It would get the Broncos back in the top 25, and maybe it would finally drop the Fighting Irish out of the top 25 if they were to drop a third game.
Unfortunately, though, the one thing for Boise State that they've got going against them was that Week 1 loss against USF. I think if Boise State keeps that game competitive, takes it down to the end of the game, loses by a field goal or 10 points or less even, I think the playoff committee takes them seriously. I do think that loss to USF in South Florida is kind of a backbreaker for them. It doesn't necessarily mean they're out of the college football playoff, but it doesn't help, is what I'm saying.
All right. Then the last game we need to talk about today is actually today. The BYU Cougars taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers in Provo. It's a Friday night game, 8:30 p.m. kickoff. Vampire Cougs on the loose. And last week, West Virginia lost to the University of Utah in a squeaker, 48-14, and that was in West Virginia. BYU is in the national rankings at 25. West Virginia is ranked 25th in the conference. There's only 16 teams in the conference. Actually, they're ranked 15th because Oklahoma State. Wow, they're bad.
I never thought I'd see the day, by the way, Mike Gundy gets fired from Oklahoma State with how long he was with that program. That was one of the more shocking news headlines for me, but, man, they were awful to start the year. So as much as a surprise as it is, I can understand how that would have happened in the moment.
So, anyway, BYU, heavy favorites. Last time I saw the Vegas line, it was 19 points, and I think that's one time when Vegas is probably about 19 points off. I think BYU wins closer to like 38 points. And, Nate, we aren't on SVI. The YouTube one, I think, is working, but the SVI broadcast does not appear to be working, and that's how they get the radio feed. So let's take a 2-minute break. So those of you that are watching us on the YouTube, you shouldn't lose this, but hopefully we'll figure out what's going on with the SVI feed, and we'll be back right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Nice job, Martin. Looking good. Oh, it's the funny car guy.
Hey, you got Napa know-how too, huh? Yep.
Well, Martin does go 200 miles an hour. Ron breaks 300 in 4 seconds. Yeah, in a straight line. That's real hard. You drive in a circle. You don't even steer. Look at me.
Hey, you
I
two.
turn left.
Don't make me go get my can.
Your can's old.
Quiet! Matlock's on!
That's Daryl's can.
Boogity, boogity!
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Go here, go there, go anywhere with Phillips 66.
Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in rural family medicine, and then I also do sports medicine. I grew up in Provo, Utah, played football at BYU, medical school at the University of Utah, then did my residency at the Family Medicine Residency of Idaho, and then after residency came here.